Hi and welcome to another Microsoft Excel tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a multiplication table. It will incorporate just one formula, one formula that you have to make, and we'll get Excel to do most of the work for us. Okay, hope you'll enjoy this one, find it very useful. Now, first thing I'm going to do here is click into cell B1. And then I'm going to type in the number 1, and what I want to do is create a 10 times multiplication table, so on numbers 1 to 10 on row 1 and numbers 1 to 10 in column A. So what I need to do here, now I've typed that number 1, I haven't pressed enter by the way, I've just typed the number 1, and I put my mouse pointer over the bottom right of the cell so I get the black cross, and now if I just hold down the control key, keep that control key held down and drag across, and as you do that you'll see that Excel will pop in the numbers for us up to number 10. Once you reach number 10, release the mouse button, release the control key, and there we have our block of numbers. Now don't deselect just yet, because we still need this block of numbers, or this row of numbers, and what I'm going to do now is simply copy that row because it's already highlighted for me. So click the copy button, that puts the marquee box around that selection, and then I move to cell A2, right click on cell A2, and that brings up the right click shortcut menu, and then choose paste special. Okay, the paste special dialog box appears, and down at the bottom right you have an option that says transpose, and you tick the transpose box, click OK, and there we are. It puts that same set of numbers 1 to 10 down in column A from A2 down to A11 in this case. I can now deselect my row 1 selection by simply pressing the escape key, and there we have the numbers for the multiplication table. Okay, that's step 1. The next stage is to create the calculation that I need. And so to do that I'm going to click into B2, press equals on the keyboard. Remember, pressing equals tells Excel that whatever follows will be part of a calculation, and then click on to the first cell reference that I need, which is cell B1. Okay, and I'm going to make a modification to the cell reference, and I'm going to use an absolute reference, but I only want the formula to lock onto row 1 in this case, and what I do here is press the F4 key. Now if I press it once you'll see what happens. It puts a dollar sign around the B, or between the equal sign of the B and also between the B and the 1. What that does, it locks that cell reference to B1. I don't want that to happen, I just want it locked onto row 1 for this first part of the formula. So if I press the F4 key one more time, you'll see there it changes to equals B $1, and the dollar sign indicates that whatever follows is locked. So if I copy that formula around, the row 1 will be locked in that formula, or that part of the formula. Okay, so the second part of my formula is to complete the multiplication. So I press the star sign on the keyboard, or the multiply key, and then click onto cell A2. Now here I want to do the opposite of what I did on the first cell reference, which is to make it $A2. Now to do that, press F4 once, puts the dollar signs around the letter and the number. Again, just the number. One more time, just the letter. So pressing F4 3 times I end up with $A2, which is perfect. So now the column is locked on the second part of that formula, and that's the hard part over with. That's the only calculation, or the only formula you will need to create for this little example. So what I'm going to do here is click on the little tick there, and we're done. And Excel is telling me that 1 times 1 is 1, which I'm not going to argue with. Looks okay to me. Now the next part is obviously to populate the rest of this table, and to do that what we do is we make sure we have B2 highlighted, the first formula, click copy. And now here's the trick. What you need to do here is select all those cells in the table, but starting in the same cell where you've copied that formula. So I'm going to start in B2, click and drag down. You can go anywhere you want really, but we're dragging down to cell K11. Okay, you'll see, but as long as you've got the columns highlighted to column K and the rows highlighted to row 11, you're okay there, and you can see they're all highlighted. And I can release the mouse button, and that's my selection made, and then all I need to do now is press the enter key. Okay, and there we are. As if by magic, Excel fills in all the other calculations for me. Now I'm going to deselect that by pressing one of the arrow keys, and what I'm going to do now is just click around some of these formulas here, and what I want you to do is keep an eye on the formula bar as I click some of these formulas. What you will see is as I click around, on the left side of the formula there will always be a number 1, and on the right side there will always be a letter A. So in this example we've got $J1 times $A9. On the next one we've got I1A5, the next one we've got G1A8, E1A3, and the reason that happens is simply because we have told Excel wherever we want, wherever we copy our original calculation, which is in cell B2, we want row 1 locked and we want column A locked, and that's why the formula is as it is. So there's the nice 10 times multiplication table, and I'm going to just finish that off by doing a bit of formatting. What I want to do is expand the row height, and to do that I'm going to select all the rows from row 2 down to 11. So click on the number 2 in the grey column numbers there. So click on the 2, drag down to the 11, go to the format menu, choose row height, and if I just drag that little dialog in there, I'm going to put the number 25 in there and click OK, and that just increases the row height, something that's more interesting. Oh, I did forget to also do row 1 there, my mistake. I'll click on row 1 as well, do that one more time, format row height, type in 25, click OK, and there we are. Now the next stage is just to tidy up the display of the numbers. I'm going to select all the cells there from K11 back up to A1, go to Format Cells, go to the Alignment tab if you don't already have it selected, and in these horizontal and vertical drop downs we want to choose Center on Horizontal and Center on Vertical. Click OK, and as we go back to the spreadsheet you will see we now have it, all the numbers nicely centered. I'm going to increase the size of those numbers as well, so I'm going to go to my font size drop down and choose 18. Increases the number size there. I could probably make them bold as well, make them stand out even more. And then the last thing, I'm going to add some colour to the table. Well, not quite the last thing, but we'll add some colour first of all. So I'm going to select the row 1 from K1 to A1, hold down the control key and then select A2 down to A11, and I'm going to put some colour on that, so click on the drop down for the fill colours, and I'm going to put a yellow colour on that. I'm also going to put a grid across the spreadsheet, or across the cells with a value in, by highlighting again all the table, or the multiplication table. Click the drop down for the borders and choose the all borders option, the grid button there, click on that, and it puts a grid on. And one final thing perhaps is to just highlight the middle value there, or the middle diagonal, which sometimes you see on multiplication tables, and to do that I'm going to click number 1 in cell B2, hold down the control key, and I'm going to go down diagonally like so, right the way down to 10 times 10, and then click on the fill options again, choose sort of a blue colour there. I'll let you choose your own if you want. Click away anywhere, and there we have the finished table. Now, as a final little trick, what you can do if you want to have lots of different multiplication tables, maybe use different values. I'm going to actually I'll do a couple of things here. If I double click on the sheet tab there, I'm going to put 1 to 10 X, press enter, and I'm going to copy the whole sheet. And to do that, if you click on the grey button, which is to the left of the letter A and above the number 1, just click on that, highlights the entire sheet, copy that. I'm going to now go to sheet number 2, and I'm going to paste that original spreadsheet into sheet 2. We get a duplicate. Now what I can do here is click into cell B1, type the number 11, put the mouse pointer on the bottom right, hold down the control key, drag across again, and this time you will see we get numbers 11 to 20. I'm going to copy that, right click in cell A2, choose paste special, click transpose, or transpose option, click OK, press the escape key to deselect, click into A1 just to deselect the whole lot, and there we are. We have multiplication table from 11 to 20, and come down to the sheet tab, double click, put in there 11 to 20 times, and so on and so on. And there we are. So if you ever want to know what 18 times 18 is, there we are, 324. Very good. I hope you find that useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.